This is WEBURLESQUE.
Hi, this is Vita Devour.
Hi, this is Pistol Holiday.
Hi, this is Professor M.
Hi, friends. It's me, Lillian Bustle, the titties from Jersey City, and you are listening to episode 300 of the WeBurlesque podcast.
Darlings. Shall we?
Sure.
Ready?
I guess so.
All right. You put on your voice.
They used to call it my poetry voice because I would do it when we had to read things out loud in high school. I love listening to my own voice. I have big listens to her own podcast energy.
Do you really? You enjoy listening to yourself?
I do. I actually do.
Oh.
Yes.
There's a few folks who have said they listen to their episodes and everything, and I'm like, I barely like listening to it when I have to edit it. In fact, I skip large chunks if I know they're okay.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
No, I have no problem listening to my own voice. Occasionally I'm not excited to see myself on camera, but it depends on it depends. I have body dysmorphia, but in the other way, where I always think that I look at least a little bit better than I do.
Uh, uh, I remember talking to Lucky Charming about that actually.
Oh,
He would he also had that in the other direction, and then everyone's trying to be, and then he would look, and then I would look it back. He would look back, and he was like, "Oh, all
oh,
right."
could have tried a little harder that day.
Ah. Oh, hey, I'm Viktor Devonne, and this is We Burlesque, the podcast. And I, through the miracle of fiber optics, get to talk to nightlife individuals in the field of drag, burlesque, and cabaret. And today is no exception. Everyone, I have Lillian Bustle, who's one of my dearest friends, my closest confidants, and who also was the very first guest in 2017 in her house, in her home.
Yeah,
We
in
actually
person.
have audio footage of one of your cats using a litter box while we were talking.
Yes.
And I said I was going to keep it, and I kept it. And that sort of set the tone. That sort of lowered the bar for everybody.
Every other guest
Oh,
knocked it out of the park.
yeah. Now, as someone whose life has gone through all kinds of portals since 2017, I've
Hmm.
been there for a lot of it, but for the last several years, I've been in Southern California, and you've been still in Jersey City, but doing so much in New York and in Jersey, for that matter. And we've had a chance to connect. I think the longest time we connected, however, was in Virginia, of all places.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Oh, that was really nice.
it was
Shout
really
out to
lovely.
the RVA Burlesque Festival. What a great time.
Yeah, it really was. It really. I think they're either approaching their next one or they just finished it as of the time of this recording. There's so many to keep track of.
Yeah, I think that they were doing it later in the year this year, and because I cla I gotta tell you, I need to take a page out of Abby Fantastic's book because she is on top of applying for the festivals, and I am whatever the opposite of on top is. I am underneath it. I'm just not good at paying attention to. I heard somebody talk about ADHD as like there are two times. There is now and not now. And if it is not now or like imminent, it's either like the thing I have to do right now or it is later, in which case it's later me's problem. And there are some things that
Yeah,
later me just never gets back around to.
that's
So
really funny.
yeah, I would love to, I really want to MC more festivals, but I have just been,
Mm,
haven't been doing the work that it takes to get hired for that kind of thing.
I know this has been a reason that we suck as our own agents a lot of the time. Because they would be the ones that we would, in theory, pay to keep up on that. But well, we don't pay ourselves to do that. It's funny you mentioned what today not or now and what not now. I frequently say to myself, "Well, that's not happening today."
Hmm.
When I
Hmm.
look
Hmm.
at things, I'm like,
Hmm.
"Oh, I have to do that," but it's not happening today.
Yeah, that is
And
not today.
it's not today. It's just not today. And one day it will be, anti-meme, it's today, and then I'll have to do it. But like
I
every
have
once in a
to.
while, I'll be like, oh, I think I do it also to soften the blow, to sort of be like, oh, I have this, like, but it's not going to happen today, so I really can't worry about it right now, you
Oh,
know?
that's a good point. I do that because otherwise I'll stress out about something,
Yeah.
or I'll do anything but that thing. That is,
It's like prioritizing by omission.
yes, yes, the most passive way to advertise. I was just like, we'll see what happens. Oh no, today, now, not now. I just want to give myself a little pat on the back because I have been avoiding going to physical therapy for no good reason. Like I like my physical therapist. I wasn't sure if they took my new insurance, and
Oh, yeah.
also just like there's something I have like some historical residual, I don't want to say trauma, but like I have over the years worked for businesses who were really crummy about letting me take off for doctor stuff, even though they're
Oh,
not allowed to, but they all
but
are.
they can be shitty about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and my current job is great about it, and I just haven't let myself trust that yet. So my knee was hurting for a month. Finally went to the doctor, and that was June 11th. So today I finally made my PT appointment for next week.
Yay.
So high fives to
For the
all the
audience's edification, it is almost August.
yeah, I my procrastination takes very different forms, and thankfully it doesn't like molasses up everything I do now, but it does get into all kinds of little nooks and crannies. And
Do you think you're better at prioritizing when it's burlesque stuff versus when it's Lillian at home stuff? Because there are more people that you're responsible for?
oh, I mean, prioritizing isn't the best word for it. I still, I have had a couple of projects recently. I have a wonderful therapist right now, and he's like, "Don't you have a show coming up?" And I will almost always say yes, and I'm not as prepared for it as I would like to be, but it's going to be fine. And he was like, "That's kind of how you roll," and I was like, "I don't want it to be how I roll." There is
That's not how I
the
roll. I
the
don't want
fear
it to be how
the
I
fear
roll.
of failure in front of other people and the fear of letting
Mm,
other people down. I do need extrinsic motivation. So,
mm.
like if you and I, but I'm also not a great accountability buddy because I'm not gonna hold your feet to the fire.
Because
But
you understand.
right,
You're too
right. But if yeah, if you and I were like, let's set a goal of doing these like applications together and then I didn't do it, I would feel very bad about it. So because I would be letting someone else down, I
Mhm.
usually get that kind of thing done. I don't think that I've ever showed up to a show that I was either performing in or producing where I was s- so underprepared that I embarrassed myself. But the problem is, I was the kid who was like doing my homework at lunch for my fifth period class. I am such a last minute person that I can always pull it out of the weeds,
Mm.
and I could just do it a week beforehand and not give myself the panic. I'm still trying to figure that out. 47 years old, still trying to figure it out. But, you know, it's fine.
Yeah, I do. I do. I get it. It's hard. And that's one reason that you have Abby, right? So, I mean, you thrive with an accountability
Yes.
built partner.
Yes, we do Capricorn very well together. Abby and I have been co-producing Bounce House, a burlesque celebration of body abundance, which is specifically created to highlight bigger bodied performers. And we have been doing that since 2022.
Yeah.
And we do work very well together. I have had other people approach me about co-producing in the past, and I couldn't even imagine it until she and I started working, and just the way that we anticipate each other's needs and the way that like the things that I really love to do, she's not crazy about, and then she picks up the things that I don't care for.
Mm.
We fit together really well, and I'm so grateful for her.
Yeah.
We just had a
Well,
great
so
show at Coney
Cody, yeah.
in the middle of a weather emergency. We still had a great turnout, which was incredible. But that morning, I was like, "Do you think they're gonna cancel? I'm really worried. Like, should I text Bambi?" She was like, "Calm down. They'll let us know if something gets canceled."
What was the weather? Was it
Oh, three
hot?
tornadoes touched down somewhere close by. Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. There was the residual smoke, so they were anticipating mud rain, which would have been fun. I don't think we actually got that.
I know. Welcome to
The
the stage, Mud Rain.
yes. The
Damn.
BQE was so flooded that I saw footage of people climbing out of their trucks and sitting on the roofs of their like trucks, like long haul trucker trucks, to try to not get flooded because it was already flooding up to the windows of the cars.
They were just
Um,
like trying to redo La La Land or something. That was an actual.
with a water ballet.
Ooh.
Yeah, that would be the New York version of that now. Every time it rains for like 10 minutes, everything's flooded.
Wow.
So anyway, it all worked out. We had to drive through Staten Island to get to Coney, but we were safe and dry and had a great crowd and a great audience, and it was wonderful as always. And I could have put my shit together for it a week ahead of time, and instead I was still doing things an hour before the show. It's fine. Do you have like a getting ready ritual when you're producing, like
It's been so
where you
long.
where you know, like if I have my makeup on by this time, then I'm doing okay? That's how I gauge it. Like if
Um,
I have my eyelashes on
hmm.
by 4 o'clock, I can usually the rest of the day is gonna be fine.
Generally speaking, it's funny because the last time I produced in person, because obviously I do the tusks, and that's hybrid, but a lot of it is done a week beforehand, or well, I should say a week beforehand, during the week beforehand, because sometimes I'm editing right into the last minute.
Mm.
But that's a video broadcast with live elements,
Yeah.
basically. Um, last time I produced was in Hollywood, and I told you off the record that it was I've never gone like public with it because it sort of doesn't really matter. I didn't have a great experience
Right. I
in
do
the
remember
per
that.
yeah. It was not the right fit. I tried too hard to no, I didn't try too hard. Actually, I came in with the appropriate amount of hardness. Uh
I always say
you
that about you.
know, you know,
Victor, just the right
um
amount of hard.
just the right. And I was met with some derision. And I'm not here to talk smack about them because I'm sure that it was not an isolated incident, but it was just big personalities bouncing off each other. But I'm not your enemy when I'm booking a space. I'm trying to work together and I come prepared. And if every effort that I'm making, you have a sort of a snide comment about that it's not quite up to snuff. Like I bring in everyone's audio, I have all of the tracks in the order, and your criticism is that they're not all equalized
Oh my God. But yes, and just to clarify, your issue was mostly with the venue, right?
with the and one specific person in the venue,
Right, right,
but
right. So
unfortunately, an important person for
in
the
case there's
venue.
somebody out there listening who's like, is Victor mad at me? I just wanted to say, probably not you.
No,
I don't
probably
think
because I don't think I even come to mind. That's the other thing too. I mean, if you do the research, you can figure out who I'm talking about. But it's real. I mean, I'll save it for the memoir. And again, there's one really bad night, and it was really really bad, like 3 hour bulk time with like the
mm,
last 45 minutes that really sucked. And
mm,
I drove home from LA to my place in Riverside, which for audiences at home, that's about at that time of night is about an hour and a half, a little
mm.
less. No, from that area, about an hour and a half. Just wondering, what the fuck do I think I'm doing? Like what? Like really? Because
Yeah,
it had been a
I've
minute,
been there.
and so yeah, any of that. So that wasn't an idyllic circumstances, but I
Mm,
will say that I came prepared in every regard. So I like to have, and I also host my shows as you do.
yeah, me too. Yep,
So you and I have the benefit of already knowing the show order, already
sure.
having some sense of who the performers are. And by the time this comes out, it'll have already happened. But I'm doing the Ohio Burlesque Festival where I'm hosting, and I don't know most of the cast.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to spend a lot of time that Thursday tech time and everything being very available.
Yeah, yeah. I like to do that too.
So
Especially for a festival. Like because I do okay, here, let me ask you this
yeah.
if I can drive this. Um, there's been something I've been hearing people pop up. I want to talk with you about the concept of intro versus bio because I think that it's a regional conceptualization. I think things might have changed in the last 12 or 13 years since I have been performing. And also as an MC, I have my own ideas, but I saw someone recently I do when I MC, I almost always rewrite somebody's bio in some way.
Mhm.
I have not, but now do because of feedback I've heard from other people in about hosting in general, not my hosting. Sorry, this is getting very defensive. It's not me, but it was me. And
I
then I'm
have
always really
three
careful, except for when
shrouded
I'm not.
in black. I have three shrouded in black folks who are about to come out Maury Povich style to
Behind the
explain how
curtain.
you've wronged them.
Yes, exactly. Please, Lillian Bustle, this is your fuck up. So,
That
no,
would be
and
a
I'm not
great
saying I'm
podcast.
perfect. I may have done this in the past and then someone was upset with me about it, but didn't let me know. So here's the
Mhm.
thing. If I am the person who was starting the conversation was saying that the MC refused to read what they had written. That is different from what I'm talking about, where I take what you give me and then I mold it into what I think is going to work to best present you.
Yeah.
um, I would never, I can't say I would never. I can't imagine a reasonable um time when I would refuse that. This person was talking about a person, an MC who refused to use the word fat and replaced curvy with it. So I try to
Oh
run
yeah. Self-descriptors are tough.
have,
You
yeah, yeah,
can't.
yeah. I mean, hello though. If we can read Femme Appeal's intros the way that she has written them,
Yeah.
anyone can read anything.
Well, I mean, at the very least, I mean, yes, I mean, I was gonna say that Femme Appeal's intros are off color, but
But they're the best, and they are the
they are the
best
best.
way to introduce her
Yeah,
for her
yeah.
performances. But I wondered if you've seen any pushback, even when I'm at a festival, unless I've been asked specifically to read what I've been given as written.
Mhm.
I will rewrite it. And now at the beginning of festivals, I go around, I'm at tech, and then I go around to every single person, hopefully at tech, but if not, just before the show. And I say, hey, let me read what I've got for you. And we can tweak it together if you
Yeah.
want. But either, and I make sure I get pronouns. I look people in the eye.
Hmm.
I make sure that I'm saying their names correctly. Um, but so much of the time, the text that I'm given is an enormous, like it's an about me page.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
just wondered if you had heard any feedback from people regarding specifically like festivals are such an interesting opportunity because everybody has their own habits and everybody has their own traditions and it's coming together and you want to give somebody I don't want to throw anybody off their game by doing something completely unexpected just before they go on stage.
yeah, yeah.
That wasn't really a question. That was like 14 questions and an
No,
opinion.
it's these are important things. So what I have learned, uh, so I also do some adjudication of festival stuff. So this past, oh wow, actually, this last half of the year, I've
Mm.
adjudicated three festivals.
That's
Uh,
fun.
yeah,
Look at you go.
and look at me. Wow, yeah, one, two. I think that was right before the right at the beginning of the year. So and that doesn't always get publicized. So I'm not going to say which festivals because I don't want anyone to feel judged or
Sure.
viewed or,
Even though
exposed.
that's what you're doing. So
Well, I also mean the festival themselves. I don't want
I
to
know, I'm kidding.
necessarily I don't want any of the producers to go on the defensive as to say this is who we choose for our board. But I will say, so I'm never the only one. So if anyone's curious, I'm
Are
never
you
the
talking
only
about people
one
getting into festivals or people winning festivals?
into festivals.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I see, I see. So
In the
you're one
festivals.
of the
No,
team of people who helps pick people to be in a
I've not
festival.
judged a competition in quite some time. I mean, I'm up for it. Don't get me wrong. I am all about it. So folks, give me a jingle. Um, but so what will happen a lot of
That's a
times
big
is I will get
responsibility. I get it.
it is, and it
Yeah.
comes a lot of times with the bio.
Yeah.
So anyone who's submitting for a festival, a lot of times it'll say, so say who you are, say the act, here's how you what I should know about the act, here's any changes to the act that may not be reflected in the video, and then here's my bio or my thing.
Yeah.
And very frequently, although not always, the Google form or what have you, submission form will say 3 to 5 sentences. Just 3 to 5 sentences about who you are and what we need to know. Um,
I do like when there's a straight up character limit.
yeah, that's helpful too. Um, and my head always goes back to a playbill. This is what would be written in the playbill
Mm.
in my under my name and my credits and what have you. However, that's not really what happens a lot of times in playbills. A lot of times, well, they've gotten sillier over the years. Folks get a little bit fancier as you get more notoriety. But I I look at these bios and I go, well, that's not going to happen on stage. It's sort of like
Right.
that's a very good starting point. So what I'll do in Ohio, for example, when I host, they give me a printout. Well, they give me usually a digital too, but in advance. But they also give me a printout, which I then have my notebook because
Hmm.
I'm a reader. I'm a let me glance at my book, and I'm great at improvisation, but I want to get shit right.
Yeah, same.
Um, and I will bullet point things. I will
I like a
not.
bullet point.
Because how I want to phrase it. And then I will talk to the people and I say, what do you want me to say and not say about your act?
I think
Is there
that's
a
important
thing you
too.
don't want me to do?
Yep.
Because if someone's out there and I saw them getting ready and I know they have I don't know, let's say a light reveal, like they take something off and something is lit. I don't want to make any electrical puns. I don't want to say, and here to light the way or anything like that.
Sure,
I
sure,
don't want to
sure.
give unless they tell me to, unless they tell me to.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, you want the reveal to be a reveal.
right.
That is again part of our job.
Well, because when I do my laptop act, right, I do digital get down, I don't want them to make modem jokes.
Yeah, gotcha.
I don't want them to do that. I
Hmm.
don't mind if they necessarily mention chat rooms or things like that either.
Hmm.
But there's a reason I call that act Love in the 90s. Um, because I don't want it to be, or I mean, obviously, conversationally, I call it my laptop act, but I don't want it to be given away immediately
Yeah, I get it.
for a couple of reasons. Not the least of which is there's a whole modem joke in the center of that act. Um, so I will tell people that, like, please don't talk about. You can talk about like having to talk to people from remote or what things were like. I usually just say, "Here's an historical piece." I usually I usually just say
Historical. That's really funny.
a period piece. I
A
mean, really.
period piece.
Um, and
Oh my God.
but I have learned that some people don't care. Unfortunately, when I go to people and if not maybe not their first time either, they're just a little shy. They're like, "Oh, say whatever you want." I'm like,
No, no,
and
no.
that's
If
great.
anyone's
That's great.
no, that's
But
not great. If anyone's listening, that's a mean thing to do, especially if I don't know
uh,
you very well. Say
yeah,
whatever you want. She seems like a nice kid. And she's gonna show you her titties. Like, what do you don't do that. No.
a
Part
great
of
intro though.
part
That
of yes.
ironically is a great intro.
Well, thank you. I can't even fuck up because I want
Oh
people
God.
to seem so good on stage. Even my
Mhm.
worst is still not terrible. Um, Duncan's joke is if you don't get your bio in for the playbill on time, the whole bio is hates kittens, loves Nazis.
That's great.
That was funnier 10 years ago when
I
Nazis
know.
were not hanging
Prevalent.
out.
When the husband and I are watching 80s sitcoms and they make jokes about how, infantile Nazis are and how, like, wouldn't that be ridiculous? Yeah.
God, quaint, so
Yeah.
quaint.
Quaint. I
Um,
mean, I will say one of the big things though is I've learned um as a sometimes singular they or someone who does not mind being a singular they, that is not everyone's vibe.
oh no, I think that's pronouns are very important.
Very important. And However, I have learned it doesn't actually matter what I think because that's not what this is. If somebody says something, somebody says something. Why I use a singular they is not important. Why I use a singular they for not relying on gender as one of the first things I say about a person. Because invariably what will happen is like our next performer is someone who will do this. That he will do this. She will do this. They will do that. Immediately you're telling an audience something.
That's true.
And sometimes I want to avoid that. But the way to do that is not to immediately singular they them.
Or
Singular they
check.
them.
Or check. I think it's always okay to
I
check.
mean, oh wait, but that's the thing. As I did, and I would, but then in my head, it's something I had to deprogram
Mm,
because I would use they as a catch-all.
right.
And while I believe fundamentally it can be, not when it isn't, you know?
Right. Exactly. Exactly. It's some people, yeah. Some people it's super important and
It is. It is. And again, if it were the last thing they hear before they go out on stage, it's our
mm,
responsibility not to fuck up their vibe.
man, I think the worst intro that I have ever been given.
Ooh,
Have you done any rounds of this kind of thing
not
recently?
particularly, but go ahead.
Okay, so two absolutely snafus that have happened. I have my Statue of Liberty act. I come in from the back of the house, and I feel like there's a few surprising things about it. I've got like a light up torch. The costume's all red. It's not green. But also, I don't need people to know that that's what they're about to expect because what you're hearing is like a haunting voice singing a Pixies song, like a not Pixies singing a Pixies song. You There are multiple things that I want people to lock into before they see that I'm the Statue of Liberty. And this person from the audience pointed at me and was like, they make the greatest Statue of Liberty. The whole audience turned around. So now they knew I was coming in from the back and they were looking at my costume. And like, I did have my hand up in the air with the torch, but I wasn't ready for that. And I still am mad about that. I'm still mad about that. You blew like three surprises. And
Also, what
then
does that mean? They make the best Statue of Liberty. That's a
I can't say that's
nonsense.
exactly what it was, but it
Oh,
was
okay.
because I was whatever it
You weren't
was
on yet. You
unexpected
weren't
and
on
did say
yet. Yeah.
Statue of Liberty and then they pointed at me. Um, just a bonkers series of choices that were made. And then the other one, I have been guilty of this, but not to this extent. Sometimes I will start to announce someone and then I want to tell a small story about the person in the middle of their intro, and I need to cut that back. I feel like I should do that after the act, but my
Yeah, it's a choice.
ADHD
It's a
doesn't want to
choice.
let me.
Yeah.
But in this
Yeah.
particular case, she started announcing me and then took a very long break to tell a story about bad sex that she had had.
That had nothing to do with you. Not
Had
with you.
nothing to do with me. And it was when I was just getting my knee back from surgery, so I wasn't used to being in high heels. I was standing like behind a server station, so I couldn't take the heels off because it was that weird mats with the holes in it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like if it's like bartender mat, so if you spill something, it's not. Hmm. Plus, I had too many layers on and it was hot,
Yeah.
and I don't work with that person anymore, but I was like, why would you? That's so selfish. Like, what are you? Also, thank you. Now, welcome to the stage. This girl that's gonna remind you of my terrible lay. Like, no, I should be reminding you of the best sex you've ever had.
Exactly. That's how you can spin it. You can say, well, now who's someone who's not capable of doing that because they are gonna give you the best. Like, yeah, there's
Oh, I don't know. Tell that story another time. Start your own podcast.
that was somebody's no cards in the wrong order. That's what that feels like.
Oh no, not at all.
I
Mm-mm.
know. No, I know. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah.
Nothing hurts my own feelings more than that. I there was an October thing where I messed up somebody's intro because I could not find my note cards and the kitten was someone new who I didn't know well enough to hire them as a kitten and I did it anyway. And they were not vibing with me and they had run away somewhere where I couldn't find them. I was on the stage just like literally flailing and I was like, "Hey, backstage, can you poke them?" And finally a different performer came out with my note cards. Oof.
I
Nothing.
think people forget that while a kitten is also important of setting up and setting down. They also are your first mate. They have to be like right
Oh
there
yeah.
with their ears pricked,
No,
like
you
ready to go.
yes, you have to be on top of things for the
Yeah,
entire show.
yeah, yeah.
And I did not
You're
I
not
don't
just
think
filling time. Yeah.
no, God, no. And I learned something with that also because I tend not to give a lot of instruction to my kittens or panthers or pickup
Mm,
artists or what have you,
mm.
because it is usually people I've known quite well or I have seen kitten enough times.
They know their job. Yeah.
Right. If someone's new, I will always remind them to rip up the raffle tickets because the first time I was asked to kitten, I sold all the tickets, but I didn't rip them up individually. And
So they're just
I,
long strands.
Mhm.
That, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we fixed it, but it is the kind of thing that I can see someone not remembering because I did not remember. But yeah, if
Were we ever so young?
babes in the woods. But is there a time that you can remember where somebody really fucked up your intro? I mean, people mess up my tagline all the time, but that's not as bad for me.
The modem thing. I've had somebody who spoil that surprise for me. I've had somebody who went on a rant about hooking up with people via chat room. I'm like, well, that's the act, isn't it? Yeah, you're just describing my act, aren't you?
Oh, that makes me
And
sad.
yeah, well, that's and I think that again was a learning experience to then be like, hey, hosts, don't say this, this, and this, because I don't remember exactly the context.
Mm,
I want to say I told them,
mm,
but maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't. It's too late now. And even if I didn't, they did. So, yeah, so that has made me a little bit more that and audio telling the stage manager, like, just so you know, there's a false ending. Telling the audio people, telling the stage managers, telling everybody, like, I just want you to hear the false ending of that,
Oh, yeah, that's smart.
where the audio cuts out.
Hmm.
Let it run
Yeah, yeah,
because it's a joke.
right.
Don't fade out. Don't do anything.
That's also why I really like to be at tech for festivals. And when I download people's music as a producer, I listen to the beginning of the track and the end of the track, just so that I know.
Hmm.
But no,
Yeah,
it's smart to point that out
tops and bottoms.
because yeah.
Well, and also because the audio, they're not DJs, they're
No.
sound technicians, so they've not listened to any of this any either. So what they are going to probably do is they are probably going to equalize it. They're probably going to do whatever capability they have on their hands for their equipment. They want to make sure nothing spikes. They're going to look at the waveform if the information is given
Oh my
on
God,
their
what
thing.
kind of audio is going on out your way? We've still got people running shit
Uh,
off of phones and Bluetooth speakers here.
well, I mean, I'm also basing this off of like Triple Door in Seattle and the Beachland Ballroom in Ohio, because they're also like venues for live bands and things like that
Mm,
too. Like they do
mhm.
like events, like they do
Right.
theatrical shit.
Yeah.
These aren't necessarily your bar shows. No, you're right. Back at Rock Bar, it was off a phone or an iPad or what have you, and you'd be lucky if the album art showed up when you clicked play.
Right.
Uh, uh,
Those were the days.
those were the days. Hi, this is Viktor Devonne, and you're listening to WEBURLESQUE, the podcast, and I love you for it. I gotta tell you, this is still one of my very favorite things to do. I'm very happy, very proud, very honored that people download this and listen to me and a bunch of folks talk about why we love what we do. It's really great. It really, really is. And I want to give a special love to the patrons on patreon.com. Give it up for Melody, Devin, JaCourtney, Clara, Dottie, Charlotte, Luna, Goosey, Roxy, Faye, Tiffany, Jimmy, Curly Bright, Oliver, Sebastian, Alex, Bo, and Stormageddon. I had to take a breath there, people. It's really lovely. It really is really, really, really lovely. I think it's
so difficult to dedicate time and make shit happen, but I'm working on it. I'm trying. Goodness gracious. Please know that you mean the world to me. And if you would like to support me in any other way that is not money, please follow, like, subscribe, share, comment, do those things, and I won't charge you for it. It'll get me further out there, and more importantly, it'll get these people that I bring onto this show further out there as well. So, mwah, be well, darlings.
And I remember a few times where in my early days, back when being a gentleman in burlesque was a little bit more of a novelty, particularly in New Jersey. I would very often be talked up by the straight male host as being a boy and being a guy about to do the same thing all the women were doing. And sometimes it was, this is for the ladies, which the whole show is for the ladies, folks. Like that. I don't care if it's 100% cisgender men. The show is for the ladies.
So weird.
And I want to say somebody said, "Now, men, hear me out," like something like that. Like they were trying to like defend my presence on stage before I even was
No.
out there.
Oh my
I'm like,
God.
you have no idea, person who has no trust of me, how many straight men are capable of non-toxic masculinity and will
Right.
go up to the one guy in a show and compliment them, congratulate them, or give them a fist bump in the most it's that sort of version of whenever I go to a male barbershop, like a barbershop that serves where it's very heteronormative, very straight culture, very,
Uh-huh.
very bro, and they ask me if I'm married or if I'm seeing somebody and I say I have a husband, they're the right ons. Right
Oh,
on.
sure.
Right on. Invariably.
Mm.
Do they have follow-up questions? No. But it's right on. It's right on. And so like this sort of I've been there. I've been a lot of guy. Well, yeah, no, still. I've been the first guy people have seen on stage. And even though, the gender expression is a little wibbly wobbly, I'm I give all of the signs of
Yeah.
a cisgender male on stage.
Yeah.
So, and yet it's possible that one reason that I'm a little bit more approachable is because I don't magic like it.
Oh,
I don't know.
sure.
Maybe that's part of it too, is that it's not threatening. Because I mean, I don't know if you've ever been to like a Magic Mike or a bachelorette party or a
Oh
Thunder
my
Down
God.
Under. It looks like a sex crime. Like
Yeah.
it's so violent.
Can I
The
tell a little story about
I'd
that?
love you to. I'd
Oh
love
my
you to.
God. I'm sorry, Kelly. So this was my friend Kelly that I did this for her, or to her, I guess is, it
Hi,
was.
Kelly. I know you're listening.
Um, and this was many, many years ago. I don't know if it was the Big Thunder from Down Under, but it wasn't Chippendales, but it was the traditional, um, what you think of when you think of Magic Mike.
Yeah.
And so we
Hard
got
bodies.
there. I think that there were maybe 10 of us. We got there, and the first thing I did was buy us all a round of shots. And this was in, let's call it 2006 or 7 or 8. Because me and like 4 other friends all got married within a very small window of time. I don't know if you remember what drinks used to cost back then, but I wasn't expecting a round of shots it was like over $100 for a round of like vodka.
How many people?
Maybe like 8 people. So now I can
Okay.
see it. Now I can see it. $10 for a shot is kind of a bargain, but at the time I was like, "Oh
Depends what's in it.
no."
It depends what's in it.
It wasn't even like a kamikaze or a woo woo. It was like
I mean, if it was
one
Fireball,
liquor.
I'd say write a Yelp review. But yeah, I could see. If it was just
Regardless,
like Jaeger or something, like no.
I,
If it's a
I
mix.
and also as a reminder, I still have never been to like a traditional strip club. Um, no matter what gender it's geared towards. So I knew that drinks would cost more, but I wasn't ready for how much more it cost.
I see. I see.
And then the guys were coming around and offering I actually did a little research because I don't like to go into anything blunt. Um uh the stuff that I had found out was like, oh, sometimes the guys will come over and like offer to take pictures with you or offer to give you a back rub and then you offer them a tip for that.
A back
This
rub. Not even a lap
was
dance, a
no,
back rub.
no, that's exactly right. I was like, what? Um, and inevitably they're not great at back rubs, but
That's not where they're
they
hired.
were, I think that they were charging $30 for a like 10-minute back rub. And then we're expecting a tip on top of that. So,
Yeah.
and I was thinking that it was like a tip for whatever. Anyway, many missteps were made during that night. But when they did pull my friend Kelly up on stage, which she was, I'm really glad that we have pulled away from this. And I am sorry that I inflicted this on her, but it felt like what everyone was doing at the time, where you were going to do an embarrassment ritual to your friend who was the bride. Like that was
Hmm.
the vibe. It was what
Hmm.
people mostly expected. Um, and she's also a theater person herself, so I figured she would at least think it was kind of fun. She wasn't horrified, no trauma, but um, the dancers do sometimes pick the women up, which I
Yeah.
was not expecting, because again, no frame of reference. Um, and the guy who was working with her was like a cop stripper. And the voiceover was something about pulling her over for drugs, and he bends her over his knee and he goes, "Ma'am, I think I found a little crack." And that was the music cue.
Jesus Christ.
I do have video of that somewhere. She took it like a champ and did
Yeah.
not defriend me.
Mm.
But again, looking back on it, I was like, I that's not really how I would want to be celebrated for my for my about to get married. You know, my
Yeah, I
bachelorette party was was to the Slipper Room. It was the first time I ever really saw a burlesque show.
oh,
Hmm.
okay.
I was one of them.
That was the old one, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, the
The
old
old
one.
slipper room?
Yeah, it was down a
Where
couple
was
stairs.
that?
It
Where
was right
was
around the
that?
corner. I think that it was on this. I think it was on the same block. I remember that it was very close to Babeland, so it was like within a couple of blocks at least of where it is now. Because the first time that I knew what Slipper Room was, I was walking to buy the first sex toy that I ever bought, and I passed by people outside of the Slipper Room, and there was a fully
Mm.
naked lady outside wearing high heels, just having a cigarette at like maybe if the store was still open, probably like 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was probably in like 2001. So I was definitely like, I wonder what's happening in there. But I didn't investigate for a while.
Uh, yeah. It's been so long. I mean, the last time I was in New York was for WEBURLESQUE, which was at Coney. I didn't even leave the borough.
Hmm.
I was in Brooklyn the whole time. And before that, it must have been 2002. 2022 rather.
Oh, I was like,
When
what?
no, I know, no, I know, sorry. Math and numbers.
We
Because
hate them.
when I was moving maybe 2001, 2021. See, did it again. 2021. When I moved the car and I did that show at Rock Bar. I did Jack and Gadget's show back when they did Rock Solid.
Yeah.
Um, and oh no, I mean performing. I mean I've been in New York, I guess, one or two other times other than that to visit folks. But it's been so long. It's been so long.
Well, you don't get a lot of fully naked people outside of places smoking cigarettes anymore. That's not not in Mom Donnie's
No,
New York.
not I mean not smoking anywhere. Uh,
Yeah.
so I was thinking, I was like, so this is the 300th episode, which means that you and I we spoke. You had already started doing All the Fucks, your podcast with Jen. So you had already been podcasting, hadn't you?
What year did you start this?
2017.
Oh no, Jen and I didn't start doing that until almost the pandemic.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
we didn't start that podcast. Oh, I was doing the Body Podcast with my friend Liza.
That's it.
That's
Okay.
what I don't even know if that's still around anywhere. Maybe
You'd
on
be
YouTube a little
amazed.
bit.
I have to say, so there are things out there that those servers should have shut things down a long time ago, but things get saved and scraped. Like even
Archived.
WeBurlesque is on podcast services that I've never heard of, merely because they scrape other
Oh,
RSS feeds. And
that's
it's, I
so
mean, it's fine.
interesting.
It's all legal. It's all technically legal. But it's like I'm on like Russian sites and like um yeah, I'm
Mm,
international. Who knew?
who knew?
I can't say that it has necessarily changed my life or, improved the the visibility of the brand, but it's out there.
Um,
Uh
every time I see a mention of me somewhere weird, like do you remember there was like a Polish movie about, or maybe it was Russian, about burlesque dancers,
yeah.
and they mentioned me and Jezebel Express in it, like talking
Yes.
about all kinds of bodies on stage, and in the subtitles, the English subtitles, it said William Bustle instead of Lillian Bustle. But when things like that happen, I always think of the South Park episode where they try to get famous on YouTube and then they think that they should be getting paid for it. Do you
Mhm.
remember that? Where
No, but it
they
makes
show up
sense.
somewhere and they're like, "We would like our internet money, please." And they were like,
Uh
"What do you mean?" And they're like, "Look, we have 1 million views on our thing." And they're like, "Nice
no, that
job."
actually requires a second step. The monetization of things, like it's not just about the content. Then you also have to like get someone to care about the content and invest in the content.
Mm,
Um And we'll probably, I mean, now with AI and things scraping, all of the websites to come up with like these digestible bio chunks, basically the same thing
please
that
keep
we're
saying
getting
things like scraping and digestible
and chunks.
chunks.
Uh, it's sort of they make us seem a lot more famous than we even are. If you Google or whatever Victor Devonne, it will tell you stuff about me, but it will frame it as if I'm like, it's a very respectable and international performer star and does this, this, and this. He also runs a We Were Less podcast. He does this and this. Like, that's right, I do.
And that's what we would call a bio, which is not the same as an intro.
Circling back. Yeah, yeah, it's not. Well, you've been okay, so when we spoke in 2017, you were obviously still doing um we talked about the Madam Wong and a lot of the other stuff that you were doing in Jersey City at what was that bar? Talday?
FM?
Tilday?
Oh,
No, the
tall,
other one.
tall day. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Talday.
Did we talk about what was happening when the city shut my show down? I feel like we did talk about
We
that.
did because we did Stuck Inside, this little tiny mini series right when we thought the pandemic was going to be a couple of months.
Oh, that was when we talked about it. Oh,
I believe
okay.
so. I believe so.
So yeah, because I think that was
So I talked to you, I
2018.
talked to
Yeah.
Falana, I talked to Brood, like I talked to Viva Vidali, like I talked to a few folks that I
Yeah,
was
we
like,
definitely thought it was only going to be 2 weeks.
yeah, it was not. It was in fact
Lols.
not. It was
But yeah, Tall Day was a restaurant in Jersey City. Downstairs was a lounge called Miss Wong's.
Miss
Um,
Wong's.
and I DIY'd that so hard. Like I put up uh tension rods, like tension curtain rods. I bought my own curtains at a discount store.
You
Um,
created a dressing room.
I did, which to be still larger than some of the dressing rooms at places in New York
Oh
City
yeah.
that have weekly burlesque
That
shows.
don't have tension rods.
Mm,
Maybe
um,
should.
just tension. Um, so, and that was just like such a lovely, magical time. But that was when you were talking about venues and like people giving you a hard time. And every time I walked into that place, there was something new and dumb going on, and something that happened with the sound system where like no one who worked there actually knew what it was. They were like, I don't know, the DJs did something to it, and the DJs know how to do it. I'm like, well, I'm here too, and I'm not a DJ. Like, why?
Well,
What
and
do you mean?
the only person who was of any authority was the bartender, who was clearly busy and specializing in pouring drinks. There was
Right.
never anybody else representing of the bar.
No, sometimes a manager would be there when I got there, but then she would peace out. And I remember one time, so sometimes DJs, and I don't know any of these terms, but like DJs will have music playing and then they want to like get on the mic and be like, hey, 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 y'all having a good time, blah, blah, blah. You can set up the microphone so that it automatically dips the music out when you use the microphone. That's great if you're a DJ trying to get that effect. That's not great if you're trying to sing along to a track. And that happened to me once, and I was like, what's going on?
Oh God.
But every single time it was something like
We're
that.
trying to help, but it's not.
Oh my God. I got there one time and they had just like painted. So the whole place smelled like paint. Um oh, so many different things.
It looked great.
They wouldn't let me touch the little stage, but someone then broke it and they wouldn't replace it. Like, oh God. It was one thing after another. And then they after a whole year they didn't invite us back because we didn't sell enough drinks, even though that's never something that we talked about in the first place. Producing is hard. And and at this point in my life, I feel like I have so much gathered knowledge that I know that my show is going to be fine. More of my energy is going towards the venue, which is why it's such a joy to do things at Coney Island because everybody there knows what's going on, is invested in the success of the show, and like wants to hold you up, is not looking for a way to be like, oh, you didn't do this thing. Um, uh, yeah.
Yeah.
So to be able to show up in a place where I feel appreciated and safe and don't have to explain, don't I've been to places where they were like, "What do you mean you don't want green lighting?" And I'm like, "I just don't. I don't like it. I don't like looking green on stage. I'm not going to explain to you why. I asked you no green. Just don't put any green on my stage. You have 1,000 other colors."
Well, the thing about the selling drinks too is that is going to be very difficult because I recall Miss Wong's and it was a decent bar, but it was a small bar.
It
And
was
if you're
small,
in line, you have to weigh your option about am I going to miss the show
right?
to get a drink? Or am I, because it was technically in another room. There was a wall separating the performances and the
There
bar.
was a mirror that you could look through, but you had to be tall, like a two-way
And
mirror.
I will also say, and I enjoyed the drinks at Miss Wong's, but they were heartburn in a glass. They were all
Pineapple.
very, well, they were very acidic. And that
Mm,
was also the first time I had ever really had, oh, what is it? It's,
GERD.
no, it was like a spicy, like it
Oh,
was like
you
a
mean the drink?
yeah, 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 yeah. No, yeah.
I
It
get
was
it.
like a it was spicy. Like it was something. And I'm,
Hmm.
you know, I'm translucent. I'm that white. So spicy to me is actually I've gotten better over the years. I can handle a bit of spice. But for the most part, you're asking people to imbibe more than one drink of a spicy particular, like these are substantial drinks that are
Yeah,
not
they were
necessarily going to quench.
sure.
Um and then there's no space, so there's no room to go over there. It was just yeah, not a
I
great
If I was trying
yeah.
to do that again, I would build two intermissions during the show like we did at FM. So
Mm,
then people have time to go do whatever it is that they want to do. I would maybe do like an extra game or something. I would welcome people, like I would let people know that it's fine to get up and walk around. Please go get a drink. But that wasn't first and foremost, and they had never brought it up as an issue. What I found out later is that a lot of my friends were going upstairs to get a drink at the other bar, and none of that was going into our ring count. And how
yeah,
could I have
that
known any of, like, literally, there's
because that
all
was
of
a
these
huge
things.
bar in the restaurant.
Yeah, and they would usually have at least two bartenders, maybe three upstairs on like a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So for our one person downstairs trying to get 50 people their drinks in a half an hour to sit down for the show, it was just, listen, live and learn for sure. But
Yeah.
this is why I am not keen on producing in places that are not perfect for what I want anymore. I'm I know what I want. I know what I want to deal with, and the amount of variables in so many places, you know, we need a place to change that's dry. We need that's dry and private.
That sounds like a Parkside reference.
Oh, I mean, Hell's Kitchen in Newark also.
Which I hear
Parkside's
is gone.
it is gone. Not surprising to me anyway.
I heard. Well, it was a little surprising to me because that was like the one place in North Jersey besides, well, now there's QXT's. Is that the
QXT's is
name of
doing a
it?
lot of stuff now. Yeah,
Yeah. But that wasn't a thing
right.
when 10 years I was
I
gonna
mean,
say
it
that
was
was a bit
around, but they
10
weren't
years
regularly
ago.
doing burlesque, right?
Right. Right.
Um, no, yeah. I'm not fucking around with kitchen staff anymore. I am not fucking around with places with no climate control. I'm not getting ready in a drippy ass basement. I
They had
am not.
cats.
The cats were endearing. The giant puddles were not.
No, yeah, yeah.
I want a stage. I'm so sorry. Like I just don't want to. I don't mind going to see shows that are floor shows where people are like moving among tables and things like that. I think that I enjoy doing that kind of performance, but I don't. That's not the fun I get out of producing a show because you have to pick specific kinds of acts, and I want people to bring whatever it is that they want to bring.
Yeah.
I don't. I I'm not messing with people with the ticket split anymore. Like I want the door. I want the door. I'll pay for the space if I have to, but if we're doing some kind of a deal and you're not helping me promote, then I'm the people who put the butts in the
Those
seats and
people in
I
there.
get the
Yeah.
tickets. I'm very, very picky now and it's fine.
Well, what
And
is
there are fewer and fewer and fewer and fewer places that are interested in that because
yeah.
we are high maintenance. We're
And
more of
yet
a liability
almost
than
old
a
school.
comedy
They're almost old
show.
school. Yeah, because they can throw on Pandora and call it a DJ and have just ambient music playing while people drink. Like have you experienced cancellations at a super level in your area? Show
Uh,
cancellations?
I haven't, but I haven't had a ton of bookings since 2022. I hurt my knee.
You're a little
Obviously,
bit more selective.
2020 to 2022, there wasn't a whole lot going on in person. And then after I took it some downtime to heal my knee, yeah, I'm a lot more selective about because there's some if I have to like take an orange train to the G train, I know how many steps that is, and I know that I'm going to be dragging stuff up and down the stairs, and I gotta really want to be with the person who's doing the show. I gotta be familiar with the space, and I can't stay out until 1 o'clock in the morning anymore because getting home is a nightmare. Like I now turn into a pumpkin, and that's just the way it is. And I wish it wasn't like that, but we need
Well,
more
because you're a
we need
public
more happy
transport.
hour burlesque shows.
That would be nice. There was like Jamie Lee Curtis at one point said like I want to see Coldplay as a matinee, and everyone was like, "Ah, old lady," and then everyone sort of like,
Right. I see.
although
I see
there's something
so
really
many good points to
there's
that.
something really cool. I mean, I've only seen so many matinee shows on Broadway, but I remember seeing something like Cabaret on a matinee, and this is back at Studio 54. This is back
Mm,
during the one that people know Alan Cumming from, but it wasn't Alan Cumming. This would have been probably Adam Pascal or John Stamos, depending on which of those shows I saw was a matinee.
nice. I
Um,
forgot John Stamos
yeah,
was the MC. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he was excellent. He
He's a
was
good performer.
so good. It was so good, and he must have been who I saw first because Adam Pascal, while lovely, didn't quite rise.
Mm.
Didn't quite
Aw,
rise. He was a better actor than he was a singer of the material. The songs just don't require that kind of rock star vibrato.
right.
Um, and it made me really wish that I had seen Raul Esparza. It made me really wish because he can do that sort of riffraff yell, but
Sure,
it's
sure.
not quite so gruff. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Um, yeah. Anyway, but seeing that, and then I mean, also the interesting thing about that show is that I don't know how they do it now, but that the ending where the ceiling goes away for a little bit and you see the exposed outside
Oh yeah.
during to sort of indicate uh the gas chamber, frankly.
Hmm.
Um and I think during sunny days they did it with the real sky. Like they actually opened it up, and then during the evening
Wow.
or during days they couldn't, it was lights or what have you. It was a very different vibe. But to see something like that and then go outside and it's still being broad daylight,
Hmm.
where you can then see the world, like it was a weird experience
Hmm.
having such like a because that show is such a sweeping of the rug underneath you.
Oh, sure.
Um, and then to have like I'm like, let's go to a place and talk about it because it's not 1 a.m.
Right.
Let's go. Let's
Yes, you can go
and
process.
I really dug that. And the same thing with when I saw Spring Awakening. That was another one
Mm-hmm.
that I saw a matinee of, and um, I like the idea of dinner and a show, but maybe a show and dinner. Maybe we'll do it in that
Sure.
order.
Well, and so much in New York now, shows will start at 7 or 7:30 now, or
Mm.
at a smattering of different times during the week, depending on what day of the week it is, which is
I got
very
a
unnerving.
I have to shout them out because I got a follow on my Instagram. Let me see, which account was it? It may have been my Victor. And it tickled me to no end. I saw it last night. Uh Hang on. I have to search for it. It's a new event. Yes, there it is. Your early queer dance party in the PNW. It's called In Bed by 10.
Beautiful.
I love it.
Delightful.
I'm like, oh my goodness, because it starts at 6 p.m.
I love it.
and
I
it's
love
over by
it.
10.
People
It's
are
over by
doing
10.
morning raves, right? Like I know that that's more for like sobriety stuff, but the appeal is different for every different person. And like I went out dancing.
Well, drag brunches are a huge thing too.
Yeah, but then then there's kids.
They don't have to. They don't have to.
No,
Drag
they don't have
brunches
to.
are sometimes are 21 over.
Um, I will say I think burlesque performers have it easier during the daytime than drag performers. I think that I think that when you're in drag, the lighting can do a lot of favors for you.
Oh, I see. I see. Yeah.
Uh, I I've only been outside Fire Island a couple of times, but I will never forget like in an unair conditioned area, a drag queen calling bingo at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was like, I don't, I can't enjoy this because of how uncomfortable you look.
Yeah. Yeah. I get you.
Um,
Do you Do you find as a queer lady, not to blow up your spot, that you are sometimes looked at as a why is there a straight girl in the audience tonight? Because you go to
oh,
a lot of gay stuff.
yes, I very quickly can tell what the vibe is. So I don't want to be in a cruisy space. I am happy to um specifically seek out the queerer spots, and there are definitely like the snotty Chelsea gays that there's a place called Gym Bar,
Yes.
where Mystery Mel after a show, uh, Ari Kiki was doing karaoke in the basement. So
Oh,
we were gonna
Ari.
go say
Aw,
hi
yeah.
to Ari, and to get to the basement of Gym Bar, you have to swim through a sea of very ripped men. Like that's just the demographic of that bar. It's called Gym Bar. I get it. We get it. These are the muscle boys. That's fine. Um, and Mel was saying hi to people on the way. I did not know anyone, and I tapped a guy on the shoulder to let him know that his phone light was on in his pocket. And he was so shitty to me. He was like, "What do you want, ma'am?" And I was like, "I don't know. You lights on in your pocket. It's probably draining your battery. Get fucked." But then when we got downstairs, it was a whole mix of people. It was like very eclectic. There were all kinds of folks. Um, and it was lovely. I have so many thoughts on this because I get why people want their own space. I get it. But one of the things that took me a really long time to come out was because I only saw like three kinds of queer ladies, and I didn't feel like I looked like any of them, and I wasn't they weren't like my type necessarily, like softball girlies or uh or like v very um how to say, there is a specific kind of butch redneck that is specifically
Uh, yeah.
like a redneck lesbian, which is
Yeah.
so mystifying to me.
Did you ever see
Or
Priscilla, Queen of the Desert?
yes, yes.
The the mullet, the
hmm
woman who
hmm
hassles the showgirls.
Yes. And then Indigo Girls. Like those were that was the spectrum.
Really? Not even the lipstick lesbians? Not even the high femmes?
That wasn't super on my radar, and that wasn't very well represented in media other than Bound maybe, but I don't think that right?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. But even things like Sandra Bernhard and Muriel Hemingway in like Roseanne, they
hmm
were outliers in the field, and they're almost like, I mean, Sandra Bernhard's basically a drag queen too. So there's
Right.
also like this like 90s makeup is fascinating.
Yes.
Yeah, different vibe. Different vibe. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so I think that I do. One of the reasons why I got an undercut was because I wanted to read less straight. I was like,
You wanted to
look,
give the clue.
look right
Oh,
here.
look,
Um,
I
uh,
belong here. It's my secret handshake.
exactly.
Which is so
Part,
funny because if you were to be in a room full of like shitty Republicans, they would clock you immediately because you
hmm
would quote resemble so much of the things that they would
Yeah,
stand for.
yeah, yeah. Nose
Yeah.
piercing. But I'm finding. I feel like maybe it's because I know people who are producing events in spaces that I would consider more queer than anything than like gay bars tend to have in the last 10 years defaulted to being a gay male space. Now we actually have two women's sports bars, three women's sports bars in New York. Plus the
Wow.
two regular lesbian bars that were not sports focused. So that is like a huge uptick in the like queer lady leaning spaces. Um,
Hmm.
and there's actually like four or five more that have popped up because there's the Bush. I forget about the Bush because it is a long, skinny space, and
Mm.
I am uncomfortable because it is too small. I feel
The
like I
cubby
am
hole
too
still around?
wide. Which one? Yeah, Cubby's
Cubby
still
hole?
around. Henrietta Hudson, the Bush, Gingers,
There was
um,
one that had mermaids. I'm trying to remember which one that was.
had mermaids on the wall or
No, mermaids that would swim in like this swimming area. They were people dressed as
in
mermaids.
New York, a lesbian bar that
Yeah.
with
Or at the very least a gay bar that had lesbian nights.
Splash had
I'm
the
trying to
showers. Oh, I'm so
Not
curious
Splash.
as
No,
to
not Splash.
what
No,
it's gonna be.
Splash Bar was
That's a
something
little
else
too on
too.
the nose to have mermaids in a bar called Splash.
Yeah.
But
No,
Parkside is a queer bar now. Like,
Splash
and it's
also it was the first time I ever saw like communal toilets, like the troughs. So I was like, maybe not call it Splash then. Let's see, NYC gay bar that had mermaids. I don't think I'm making it up. I may be thinking of Mermaids Astoria. Nightlife, no, that looks more a hookah lounge. I don't know. Holy water. I don't remember. I'm also thinking like 20 years ago at this point.
mm,
Things come and go.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
So anyway, take back what I said about there only being five five lesbian bars. There are way more now than there have
there's some
been
that
in
have
quite
like
some time.
press.
And
Yeah.
there are ones like Parkside who I would really deem a queer, like all kinds of queer folks bar now, which is amazing because it was teetering over into Zog Sports people for a while. But
Parkside Lounge?
sometime during the pandemic it changed
Yeah.
ownership and now it's very, very queer.
I love that for
Um,
them
I know that
because I have to
there's
say, walking through that bar to get to the
it was
burlesque
painful.
area, sometimes it was like, I
hmm Yeah,
I shouldn't be the weirdest thing you see in New York
correct.
City. I know I'm wearing a lot of clown white and eyeshadow and lipstick, and I read very jarring, perhaps. I shouldn't be the weirdest thing you've seen on Houston Street. I just really
No,
shouldn't be.
no, and there was a Patricia Fields like right around the corner. Like, come on.
So funny. That's so
Um,
funny.
but do I if I am in Lillian face and hair, I think that people are general is even if it is like more of a men only vibe, people at least are like, huh, what is this? Something is
Mm.
happening here. Um, which is why I was surprised that Jim Bar felt so unfriendly. It's been a long time and not since.
It
That
was
was
unfriendly
probably
when
2
I
years
was
ago.
there, and I am a gay man, and I went and it was unfriendly to me because I wasn't the right kind of gay man,
Hmm.
evidently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there will
I mean, there
always
was a
be
reason that
that.
Rock Bar was so successful for a while with the bear community and, the slightly older and the chub folk because it was places, what was the Eagle was another one
Mm,
where, and not to disparage, the leather communities or a lot of these subculture groups, but it's really easy to gatekeep
hmm.
subcultures. It's really easy to behave like the oppressor
Right. Right.
because you're going for vibes. Just
Hmm.
vibes. What are you defending? Vibes.
Right. Oh, $3 bill I would also count as like a very like multi-queer space. There's more and more, and also I will say drag kings are really paving the way. Like
Mm,
if there are from my point of view, from what I'm seeing pop up, um, places where trans men and non-binary people are performing more often, those tend to become like overarchingly queer vibe places. Um, at least on the nights where those performances are happening, but it's
hmm.
trickling out. It's imbuing, it is infusing those spaces. You guys can't see what I'm doing, but I'm doing beautiful,
You
beautiful
do
hands, beautiful
jazz
hands,
spirit fingers,
spirit
spirit fingers.
fingers. Yeah, they're getting their spirit fingers all up in those
All
spaces.
up in there. You were
Um,
just fisting that air.
and the air said thank you.
Uh,
Um, but I felt that in spaces that are supposed to be mostly gay lady spaces too. There is a Brooklyn queer look right now that I cannot assimilate with. That just involves like very tiny bangs and maybe mullets or a rat tail and things from my redneck child adjacent childhood that are really like it's hard. It's hard. I'm not everybody gets to do whatever you want with your hair. You
yeah,
are that is
that's
absolutely
you.
part of like your individuality, but the individuality is starting to turn into just little armies of people who look like they might be going to the demolition derby that I was at this this past weekend. Um, and if I'm not going out of my way to look more queer, I do sometimes
Mm,
feel uncomfortable in those spaces too. But I would rather be uncomfortable around a group of mostly women than uncomfortable around a group of mostly cis men.
hmm hmm.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I get why people want their own spaces for their own things, but I think the same as with attraction preference, like when people talk about who they absolutely would or absolutely would never have sex with, right?
Yeah.
And then people are like, well, it's my preference, and then they try to back it up with some kind of reason. You weren't born being like, oh, I only like brunettes. You know what I mean? You developed that
You learned that about
proclivity,
yourself. Yeah.
and you were influenced by all
By
of your
exposure.
media. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for, there's still the no fatties, no femmes, no Asians. Like there were people who were like, I am a straight man who has sex with men, so
Oh,
I'm
there
not
still
telling.
are. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I'm such a something's in my craw and I can't quite yank it out. when it comes to people getting cranky about how other people identify. And I don't know because I get it, I get it, I get it, I get it. And this is, we're jumping here a little bit, but since you said it, the idea of a heterosexual or someone who identifies as heterosexual, not even bisexual, not even fluid, but a heterosexual who fucks guys either for pleasure or for money or sometimes a combination of both. I believe, I'm not 100%, I'm not totally sure, but I believe they can call themselves heterosexual and that should be okay. Um, and yet, if they're homophobic, fuck them. Then they're lying to themselves. If they're not homophobic, then you know what? Do what you do. Do what you do. If you're a Lindsey Graham and you're going to do everything under the table, so to speak, and then push for legislation that fucks over people that you fuck, then fuck you. Like then by all means go to hell. Like where I'm not here for the self-hate.
Mhm.
But if you're a guy who's just, I believe that you can be heterosexual and have sex with men because I believe that the same reason that we're allowed to or able to suggest that gender is a spectrum and that if you're a cis man who's having sex with a trans woman, that's still heterosexual sex. Like I believe independent of the body parts. You know what I
Sure,
mean?
sure. Oh yeah, yeah. No, no, I
So
totally, yes, I'm on board with that.
so therefore, we should be a little bit more solid when it comes to if that gender expression, if we look at a femboy or if we look at, even two guys who go to gym bar, if that's what their vibe is, like I think it's okay. Like I think it's okay. As long as they're not queer bashing, pushing for legislation, or voting Republican.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that when you get right down to it, it's not really hurting anybody. It does feel weird to have to craft uh
The narrative?
well, a special health announcement
Uh,
to cater to people who really should get the memo. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, sorry,
yeah,
you know where your dick has been, ostensibly. Uh,
we hope.
come get your inoculation, baby. I think the reason why it rubs me a little bit the wrong way is because it feels specifically biphobic, and that is the
Mm.
way that I have felt. And again,
But a lot of
I
folks who then say you must be gay are also reducing the bi-ness as well.
yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yes.
it's all fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, regardless, hats off to the gay, bi, pan, and straight men who have sex with men for community for making Mpox go away. People were
Yeah.
responsible and took care of that.
It's amazing what people can do if they actually believe that the illness is real.
That
And
science works. I want to look out for their community as a whole instead of
well, I think we learned a
I
little bit about Reagan and all that stuff, so one has to avoid that too.
sure. Ooh,
Government doesn't like us. Yeah.
I not that I don't want to litigate people's sexuality all day.
Hey, this is Viktor Devonne, and I like socks. I've always been very open about my appreciation for the fabric that goes on my feet, and I want you to enjoy them too. Please go to footclothes.com, look at the variety of fabulous novelty socks that do not suck, and indulge. You can get 10% off now with the name Viktor Devonne as a promo code. That's VIKTORDEVONNE. Put it all together, no spaces, and enjoy. I think, yeah, we can transition.
No. I'm just kidding. It is all fascinating. At the end of the day, I think that you are whoever you
Like
say you
sexuality is
are.
fascinating. Yeah.
I think that bi and pan people do get a rough rap from all kinds of people. And also, we make up the biggest chunk of the LGBTQIA community. So, the reason why we're not all finding each other for solidarity is because we're all afraid of not being queer enough for.
It's capitalism and white supremacy. Yeah, it's all of those things.
hmm
It's yeah,
well, and scarcity mindset also. Like if you
which is
like,
perpetuated by them.
right, right, right.
Yeah. But you
Um,
said, but you wanted to move on to something else.
I did, and now I forget what it was already.
Let's think about it.
Hmm. It was more fun. It was more fun
Then we
talking
were
about
talking
communicable
about, I
diseases.
mentioned Reagan and then
I definitely
community.
wasn't trying to talk about him.
No?
Oh,
Well, I
oh,
thought at the very, okay.
I remember. So there's a place in the city called Poster House, and it is a poster art museum, and it's
Oh,
super
yeah.
fascinating. And they had a great exhibit, fairly small, but about um, poster art during the AIDS crisis, and just there was, some Keith Haring stuff, but it was all over the place, and it was about how like nightlife people were helping with the cause and things like that. So it was there were a lot of people who represented who I was aware of because even though I didn't move up here until 2000, I was coming up to the city late in college, so like 98, 99, 2000. I was aware of what was happening in New York in the late 90s. And feels so old to say that out loud that way. Back in the 1900s. But this beautiful book is called Getting In.
Uh-huh.
And it is a whole bunch of back in the day kids. If you were trying to figure out what you were going to do that night and where you were going to go, you would go to the neighborhood that you wanted to hang out in, and somebody would hand you a flyer for something that was happening that night or something that was happening another night. There were posters up everywhere, and there were people who would just hand you information about like what was going to be going on at the Roxy. And a lot of times they were hand drawn, and a lot of times they were like very, very simple. Um, and this book is a compendium of NYC flyers from the gay clubs in the 90s. And there's some Suzanne Barch stuff in here. There's clubs that aren't around anymore, like Splash, that I remember. Um, it is so fun. Apparently, also, John Blair presents a party to celebrate the opening of Big the Musical.
Oh my God. I remember seeing that. That lasted all of, I think, 6 months, if
I'm
that.
sure. Yeah, that was a short-lived one. Um, Gosh, yeah. So anyway, this is just a joy, and it is a beautiful tribute to how you don't have to use AI. Um, like I think that people have really forgotten that you could just do a collage. You could like cut stuff up and paste it together and make
Oh yeah,
photocopies
that
of
was
it.
zine culture for a long time too.
Yeah, for sure. Like this one of Bush and Quail spanking each other. Yeah, just like a
You
delightful
know, you know,
way to
a romp.
unplug. It is a romp. It's a romp for sure. Um, oh, uh, come to the men's room and meet the one and only Jeff Stryker. Hey,
Uh,
$3 well nights, well drinks all night. Oh, at Webster Hall. Wow. There was a boy go-go night at Webster Hall. That seems
I can see
surprising to
that.
me now.
Hmm, hmm.
Wall-to-wall male flesh on 3 floors of gay adventure. Anyway,
Male flesh. Terrifying.
wall-to-wall male flesh. Um, yeah, anyway, I if you can find it anywhere, um, I don't know. The
Getting
foreword
in.
is by Michael Musto, so whatever you think about him, he was there.
He was there. At the very least, we can say he was there.
He was there.
Uh, Coffee table book. Getting in. David Kennerly.
Yeah, that's it. It's so
Very
great.
nice.
It's definitely like a Christmas list kind of thing. But but yeah, like I don't I love hearing stories about what burlesque when burlesque was taking shape in the 90s in New York, like the things that they have to go through. So the fact that I'm over here and I'm like, I want this kind of dressing room and I want this kind of this, and knowing that our predecessors were were like, you know,
Well, I mean,
changing in the rafters and
shouldn't we want our children to have what we couldn't have?
exactly.
Isn't that part of progress?
Yes.
They walk so we could run, that kind of
Yeah.
thing. Any
I
other
just
of
can't.
these like little phorisms?
Yeah, exactly. Um, I just don't. I need a very specific set of conditions to relax enough to get everything done the way that I want it.
Mm.
I've learned that, you know, as I'm getting who knows what it is, if it's the ADHD, if it is the perimenopause, if it is just the I'm too old for this shit, bad knees. Um, but yeah, I'm definitely not a like art art at any um not price. What's the term?
Cost.
I gotta get this art out of me no matter what. And I'll do it
Uh,
in the middle of a Taco Bell if I have to. No.
right. No. Well, I mean, I think also is that you've refined also a lot of performance art and a lot of that sort of let me, sing Wicked Little Town in a donut shop is access for one
Hmm.
thing, and hopefully
Sure.
access has gotten better. And your editing at this point. You've
Yeah.
already done your donut time. Like, like you've already we've done it. You're at this point, you're saying, okay, so you're 3 to 4 different revisions of what Lillian Bustle is. Like I remember seeing working with you back in the ATC days, back when we did the shows in Clifton, New
Yeah, yeah.
Jersey. You're a very different performer now, both stylistically as well as what your mission is, what you want to accomplish.
Sure.
And art, if in fact artists are supposed to reflect the times, guess what? The times they have changed. Like
True.
there's something to be said about that too. If you're doing the same thing over and over again, that's never been a sustainable mindset. And our
No, it's true.
legends that we look at, I don't even just mean our burlesque legends, but I mean like our music icons, our film icons, our celebrity recognition, our the folks that we look up to, they never stuck in one vibe.
Right.
Or they died
Mm,
and they were known for that one thing, and who knows what they could have accomplished. And we kind of mourn that, our
hmm.
Winehouses and Cobains. Like what would they have done? What would Freddie Mercury have been like if he had been able to survive?
Right.
And we fortunately don't have to worry that he may have embraced, flat world culture or AI. We don't have to necessarily worry because he's not here. But but the people he influences, then we can sort of say, okay, this is what.
Oh, the
Who's to
Nicki
say?
Minaj of it all.
Wouldn't we wish? Wouldn't we hope that they wouldn't? But some people live long enough to disappoint us.
Oh my God, Victoria Jackson. I loved her from Saturday
That's
Night Live.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's a throwback at this point though.
Mm.
Her big heyday was during the Obama years in my mind when she would say America died.
Oh my
America
God,
died.
ma'am,
I can't
cool
stop
it.
crying. America died.
Yeah, well, here we are.
Here we are. Here we
I
are.
mean, are we?
Well, so let's talk a little bit about like the Lillian Bustle evolution. I think of you as like this sort of big busty broady blonde. Is Lillian naturally a blonde?
You know, that's really interesting. I have I do not care for wigs very well. So the reason why I wound up
Oh, you don't take care of wigs very well, you mean?
yes, yes, yes,
Okay,
yes. I'm not good at wig maintenance. I
got it.
have tried. I have taken classes from multiple people who I trust their wig expertise in, and when it comes down to it, just not good at styling and restyling a wig. So blonde is not necessarily what I'm going for. I do feel like I'm just like generally redhead at heart. But I have a couple of very durable blonde wigs that have made it into the rotation. I mean, you can right now see one of my red wigs just hanging on the wall right
Oh
now,
yeah, there it
a
is. They're
la
just here,
Moira
isn't it?
Rose. Um,
It's like you
uh,
scalped Gladys and stuck her to the wall.
yes, I have. I
Actually, I
have a
guess you
very
wouldn't have to scalp Gladys because that was also a wig in that
also
movie.
a wig. That's
But
very
yes.
true.
Uh,
Um, yeah, I feel like well, regardless of blonde or not blonde, when I first started doing burlesque, I wanted to be pretty. Like that was my goal. Like my 100% goal was like maybe sexy, but pretty. I wanted to
well,
be able to when I was growing up, because I have always been fat, I did not feel like I had access to girl clothes that made me feel as feminine as I felt. So I wound up in like shorts and t-shirts and like basically looking like a camp counselor, whether I wanted to or not. So I sort of leaned into all of that. Um, and also, to be totally honest, wasn't wearing a ton of dresses because A, I have never had great feet. We were really poor, so we weren't like buying more expensive shoes. So I was wearing shoes that were comfortable, whatever that meant. And then on top of that, I have had rubbing thighs since I was like 6. So I would go to camp for a week and then come back kind of waddling because I would have been
prickly
having
heated up.
sweaty,
Oh yeah.
chafed thighs. Um, and then so it wasn't until I'm gonna say my later 20s when I like figured out some footwear that made me feel like I wear sandals all summer and combat boots in the winter, and I have like runner's glide stick that I use on my thighs. I figured out like 5 tricks, and then I embraced red lipstick, and then I found burlesque shortly after that. So all of those things where I was just like, I finally feel like I can be pretty. I want to perform pretty. I want to embody pretty. I remember um, telling Joe Boobs and she was my very first burlesque teacher. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. If I had known who she was and what a big deal she was, I would have been so intimidated, but I had no idea what I was doing.
Well, you
So
then you missed out. Then you don't have to worry about it. Yeah,
exactly.
you skipped
Um,
that.
but I remember talking to her about um, like corsets and how they were fitting. And I was like, I feel like I can't get a corset to do what I want it to do without my back fat kind of hanging over the back of it. And she goes, I think that's hot. And I was like, what?
I beg your pardon?
Uh, okay. And then something about that specifically unlocked it for me where I got to rewrite what I decided pretty was, and then I also got to rewrite what was hot, and then I decided that I didn't need to be both pretty and hot on stage, and that was probably where the turducken came in. It took a while for me to let myself be weird on stage because being pretty was so important to me. Um, and
I could see. I
then
remember Fancy Feast talking about that too, actually.
oh
About
yeah.
like sort of like the expectation of the the fat alt girl not like leaning into the best friend syndrome, sort of being the Waka Waka, as
Mm,
opposed to also being the ingenue, as
right.
opposed to also being like. And then when she won Miss Coney, it was very important to her that she also gave glam and not just, ironically, Trash Princess, which is what won her the crown.
Yes.
But it was important to be like also fabulous.
Right. Right. And now I feel sturdy enough in both the weird, goofy, um, and
There's a sexy word, sturdy.
sturdy. Um, sorry, I can tell that my cat's about to jump down here and I'm trying to clear space. Uh, so I can take more risks and I can do things that aren't perfect on stage and I can enjoy that and I don't think I'm ever still going for shocking with anything that I'm doing. I don't know that that is my vibe in life in general. Like, I'm interested in having people challenge their own ideas and stereotypes and stuff, but I'm not the girl who's doing something shocking for the sake of making someone feel something
Right,
uncomfortable.
right. Pussy pulling,
Um,
things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although we've gotten away from that. I, f- I feel like there used to be people pulling stuff out of their choaches like way more often. Maybe it was the
Well,
fall of
Velocity and
the
Berlinda
recept.
moved.
Oh, true. Also receptive condoms are harder to find, and that was like the
Oh
thing was because
yeah.
you could put
It's what
the
Vanka
con
used. I remember that. Yeah.
yeah, the
She
condom, and then
had
you
like
could
a
put stuff in there.
crucifix
But you
up
know
in
what? The
her.
people in the audience, the reaction's still the same because they don't know that you have protected that from your bodily fluids. They just see something coming out of you.
Yeah. They still think you're risking septic shock. Yeah.
Right. For $45 plus tips.
For art.
Um, but yeah, I would say where I am right now, I have had a hard time. I haven't created a new act in a very long time. Part of it is because I have a yearning to create something that's like big and complicated. And I don't know where I'll perform that because the stages in New York have gotten small, like the actual stages, the actual physical place that you put your body and then you take your clothes off on, have gotten smaller and smaller. And um, the opportunities that I mean, I can make my own opportunities, but I every time the couple times I've been to Beehoff and somebody comes on stage with like a giant rocket ship or that cool coffee percolator thing that one time, like I see these big, beautiful set pieces, and that doesn't have to be what informs my performing, but I'm like, I want to spend money on that now. And how am I going to get it to where I'm going? And is
Or
it even
even
going to fit on the
I know. I
stage?
know. Well, even someone like Dina, one of the first things you think of is the martini glass or the champagne glass. I don't remember what the glass that she dances that she
Yeah.
performs. That somebody recently did. There was a pop star who also did like a drink glass
Oh,
dance.
wasn't it Taylor Swift with the
She's done it too, but that she wasn't who I was thinking of. There was another artist. Aquarius mentioned it to me, and I can't think of it now. It's all right. There's been a few tourists in
Yeah,
our
and
in
that's not
our
necessarily what I did, but I want the option to do that if I did want to make a martini glass and then schlep it the fuck around.
I know. Rita and Wink did that too, right? Didn't she have one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, she had a shrimp cocktail act that was
shrimp cocktail.
divine. It was very, very good.
I mean, even I remember Kita St. Cyr had like a
She tiki, it was a tiki
it
mug.
was tiki egg. Yeah,
Hmm.
and there's always been something really cool about bringing it until you realize, oh, I live in Astoria and I'm being booked, and yeah,
I know.
there's
And
yeah.
that's really like taking the wind out of my sails for a lot of things. Like and it is fun to think about how to engineer things so that they can fold down, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But
Well, that came up even at Beehoff with the trophies. Chola Magnolia was like, how do I get this home? And they're like, oh, you can unscrew it. There are ways. There are ways.
that's so smart.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
And then you take it home and you rebuild it
Hmm.
and win all over again.
Yes. And it doesn't fit out the door of your tiny apartment. Um, yeah, so I don't know where I am right now. I'll be honest, I've been leaning on Sing strips quite a bit since I got my knee surgery because you have a reason to not move around as much.
Mhm.
Um, I like to think that I'm captivating when I do it. It might look lazy. I don't actually know. But I've been relying on that and it is limiting. It's very limiting. And even if I decided that I wanted to invest in my own mic pack or lavalier or whatever, the chances that I'm going to walk into a place that I'm booked and the person's going to know how to hook it up are very slim.
Oh
So I
yeah.
would need to learn a whole bunch of my own audio engineering and
Do you like
um,
holding a microphone when you host?
when I host, yes.
Yes.
I think that
No.
that's actually
What about when you
pretty.
sing them?
I think that there's a lot more that I could do with sing strips if I had like a wig mic or even like, is the Madonna one called a lavalier? What's the one that looks
No,
like you're
lavalier
an air
is the
traffic
one that,
controller?
yeah, yeah. Most people either refer to it as it's the headset mic. It's the
Headset
headset
mic.
mic. Yeah, yeah. That's the ones that Madonna and Janet Jackson sort of popularized
Yeah,
because they needed to also use their arms
right.
in a way that I think.
But you also have to have a sound person that you can trust because
Oh,
if I'm
sure.
changing my dynamics in the back room of Freddy's in Brooklyn, like I better be able to hold a microphone this close to my mouth and then be able to pull it away because nobody is going to be sitting there on my volume. Anyway,
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
mean, wishes were horses, but like, yeah, I'm stuck in a place right now where I feel like I could really throw my passion and some money into a new act that would be a festival level thing. And also, I just, it's, I'm stuck. I have some writer's block right now. I like going back to early stuff, like when I was very first starting to perform. I still have a couple of documents and notebooks, and I look at them and I'm just like, oh, you thought you came up with that. Meanwhile, it's like Adam and Eve, but the snake is a puppet. And like, okay, okay. Not
Yeah.
that it's not cool. It's always cool when that comes out, but it's not new. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I feel like if you ever want to put heads together sometime and just do like an hour long intense whiteboard
Oh, I didn't great at those. I didn't great at
brainstorming
those.
thing, maybe
Yeah.
I can make it worth your while.
Well, I guess so. What do you want to say as an artist right now? Do you just want to, do you want to, I know, easy question.
I
Do you want to have people, do you want to have like a cabaret in Here Life is Beautiful kind of moment because outside it is raining? Like, what do you want the audience to feel and get? Like, is it escapism or
I really don't know. Like I
what do you want
am
then? What do you want when you're an audience member? What are you drawn to? Because I think sometimes we forget we're also audience members.
yeah, that's a
What
great
do you want to
point.
get? What do you want to get out of art
Um
right now?
I want to after having seen I want to gasp a few times. I want there to be surprises. I want I really do love elaborate or shocking or surprising reveals, like ones where I'm like, how did you do that? Um and what's kept me away from that is I actually know a bunch of the tricks now, but it takes so much rigging beforehand that I look at and I'm like, oh God.
There
Like
are people
the
like,
ripcord tricks where you can just like wrap your
yes.
fingers around and then you can pull it out and
And the
then
whole thing,
like
I'm like, I don't want to lace that every time.
I know.
Oh
I need
my
an intern.
God. Oh my God. Yes, I've
Also,
seen that.
also, my vision is so messed up now that like if I've got my contacts in, I still need reading glasses. And I'm just thinking of myself like in the basement as an example of Rock Bar where there's the lighting is shit and it's so hot and like one of my laces I didn't lace it right trying to get it. Oh, it's just everything seems like a pain in the ass and I don't that's really the crux of it is that the art that I love so much I don't want to say it feels inaccessible to me but the venues have become inhospitable and it just feels like a way bigger barrier between me like coming up with an idea, pitching it to somebody, and then being able to do it on a stage somewhere where it feels appropriate.
Mhm.
Just feels like a way bigger hurdle than it used to. And I don't know if I was naive then and I just did it anyway and made it happen, or if things are actually more difficult now, either because I have like I don't want to, I'm not disabled. I just have bad knees and I don't go to get the physical therapy that I need to go get. But I am like motion limited in some ways right now in the
You don't
body
have
where
to
I'm
say,
at.
am I disabled enough the same way that you are, am I queer enough? You can just be, this is
I
what your body is
know.
like right now. It doesn't have to be
I
forever.
just feels like I'm making excuses or I don't know.
I think the
Um,
calls are coming from inside the house,
I
but
mean,
I
I
get
have a
you. I
great
get you.
therapist. We talk about this kind of thing all the time.
I'm Viktor Devonne,
I'm Petra Fried
and this is Tonight.
on Murder, She Wrote.
I live for this moment where Jessica says, the decor of this room reminds me of something, but I'm not sure what.
Baby, if this isn't Captain Hook's boudoir, I don't know what it is.
He's kind of giving like
Bulldog.
bulldog bear. Like I know this guy. I've
Like
seen
even
this
like the
guy in
cutoff
bars.
shirt, like the sleeves that are cut
Yes,
off on his
especially
shirt.
the
It's
cutoff
like,
shirt.
he's going to cruise in a few minutes.
He has to pick up his harness for Folsom.
That's
Like,
right. The Reverend showed up and he found her stabbed in the bed.
and bathed in this red Suspiria light.
I know. Red light special.
But I just,
But I get you, yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
feel, I'm like, I don't want to stay out late. I don't want to schlep my stuff everywhere. And this art form is an art where you stay out late and you schlep your stuff everywhere. It just is.
It wasn't always. It just is now. Nightlife
Yeah.
has become the thing, and that again I blame capitalism for. But the adjustment of culture and pushing things to the late night where the kids can't see it or where the general populace won't be offended or be bothered. A lot of that I think is so drawn by censorship. So when you can serve alcohol, when you can do this, like the idea of all of this is it became a response to
Mm,
the restrictions. And as someone who, fought a good fight to get some of these restrictions either limited or readjusted, you've done that. You've done that with certain things, and to expect that you'd be the only one to do it, I think is we need some advocates out there to help fight against what's out here.
yeah.
I don't know. And I think so much, I think because we become complacent, and complacent is a strong word, but I think we become, oh, that's how it is. Oh, but that's how it is.
Hmm.
And that thing is that no, it's not how it always was though.
Right.
So, and if the rest of the world is, I mean, well, the rest of our world, if the rest of our country is going to, tear things down or fuck with tradition or fuck with recent wins and stuff, I mean, I guess we can do the same thing.
Hmm.
But yeah.
Well, if you are coming to see a show of mine, you bet your ass it is not starting later than 9 o'clock. So I am out here advocating for that. And if I may, listen,
I'd
this is
love
going
you
to
to.
sound very negative. It's fine. It's fine. Everybody, I think everyone is going to resonate with all of this. Seating, trying to find places for Bounce House that have seating that my size 22 ass would want to sit on or in it for any amount of time. Oh my God. Oh my God, so challenging. And like I've all but given up on finding places that are fully accessible for both the audience and the cast because it, so many, New York is not ADA compliant. So many of the buildings are super old. But these tiny ass broken seats that are in places or bars are starting more and more. This is driving me crazy. A lot of bars only have high tops in them. That is so unwelcoming as a person that has knee problems and is short.
Mhm.
Um, like only having high stools and a lot of them not having backs on them, or like
Mm-hmm.
places where the bar stools are like bolted to the ground and then there's like a bunch of low little weird like rehearsal boxes around for people to
Fucking
sit
hate
on.
that when
Get
that's
bent. It makes me furious. So the seating is also a really big important part. We've actually had offers from a couple of spaces that I was like, our people don't fit in these seats. I don't know what to tell you. And that's not necessarily my it really has become a sticking point for me no matter what I'm producing, even if it's not like a larger body focused show. Because I am getting older, but even before before I was getting older, that's not true. Um, even when I was younger, when I was producing shows 10 years ago, the people who were coming to my shows, a lot of them were in their like 40s and 50s, and those people have money.
yeah.
Not, I want them to have a good time, but like I need people to be spending money at my shows. I need people in the seats who can tip. I need people who want to buy raffle tickets. I want everyone in my seats, but because I want there to be room for community who can't spend money, I need a handful of people who want to and can.
Yeah.
Um, so when I when I am now like facing the fact that there is at least one venue in New York where as a performer I don't fit in the backstage area, I want everything that I make for other people to feel as welcoming as possible. And I don't want the perfect to be the enemy of the good, but like I'm tired. I'm
Well,
tired of
you're the one
compromising. I'm
you're doing
tired of
that walking. You're
compromising.
doing that walking so someone can run. You are that you're doing that thing that we
Yeah,
just
but
talked about where
until we have a more diverse until venue owners are by and large men. Venue owners are the kind of person who wants to try to make money off of selling alcohol, which is risky business. So like you have a specific mindset. I'm not saying this is not everybody, obviously. This is not everybody. But like you have to be a little bit psycho to be a venue owner. Just like you have to be a sociopath to be a CEO. Absolutely. Something has to be unplugged in your brain to have that level of confidence to go swing it out of the park. There are few women, not no, but few women who are venue owners or even bar owners in this area. And um I just think that there's a lot of people who don't see the possibilities and don't see the community benefit for what we are bringing in the same way that people did
mm,
when we started out. And I also get it. I get it, but it's annoying. And I have to, you know, protect my protect my peace. I have to I I have to not say yes to things that when it comes up to the thing that I'm not like, fuck, why did I say yes to this?
yeah. 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 I had to recently turn down an offer of something I wanted to do just because I like doing things. It was a $600 plane ride, and I wasn't going to get compensated for the $600 plane ride.
Mm,
And it was like there are other times where I've done things and did not get compensated for this $600 plane ride.
sure.
But they gave me like 200 bucks to
Hmm.
just sort of soften the blow. And I would like an offer. I would like to sort of meet me there in some capacity. And you know what, if I had the dollar, I hate to think that if I was a millionaire, let's just say millionaire, if I was a millionaire,
So modest.
I know. Well, okay, how about this? If I had $50,000 to fuck with, I hate to
Sure.
think that I would just accept the $20 gig because I can't afford it.
Mm.
That's not equity. That doesn't help anybody.
No, no, no.
But then I would just eat the cost because I can. And eating
Hmm.
the cost because you can does not help the folks who can't. Like, you know? And since that's a non-issue for me anyway, since I don't have $50,000 to blow, um, my DMs are open, folks. Um, I would like to think, I mean, and that's how rich people stay rich, isn't it? Is that they don't do that.
Right.
I don't know.
I know.
It was,
I super don't want to be a
and
downer
I
to
don't begrudge
anybody.
the person who said, please do my show. It's in another state. That's
I
not their
know.
fault. That's not their fault at all.
No,
Because
no.
what they were doing is they were offering a show to me when they could offer it to a person who lives 2 miles away. So
Right.
of course it isn't going to cost $600 to get there.
So when it comes to stuff like that, especially if it's a specialty show, I have had people reach out to me because we don't have, oh God, I wish that we had the kind of budget to fly people in, but we don't for a bounce
I'm waiting
house.
for my call. I know.
Let us know when
I
you're going to be
know.
here.
I know. I
Um,
know. Well, that's the other thing too is some folks get the friends and family discount.
oh, sure.
Let's not pretend that everything's across the board. Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
But also as a performer, there's a lot of times that we decide to spend $600 on a plane ticket to do a show or to go see a show,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
that or to be involved in a convention or to be part of something that is important to us. Um and it, there's times when I'm like, it's kind of a bummer that the two biggies in America, which are the Burlesque Hall of Fame Weekender and BurlyCon, are on the other side of the planet. Like that is, it's harder for us to get there, and it's very expensive. Um, but I have spent that money because it was worth it to me, and
Yeah.
thankfully I had it. Um, Sorry, I
Just
don't
imagine
know.
all those
I
people
went,
who in the comments saying come to Brazil. Those poor people. They don't even have
wait, what?
you ever see like however anytime that somebody posts that they're going on tour, that they're doing this, like there are people in the comments who say come to Brazil because Brazil fans are hugely just they are huge consumers
Of
of
burlesque?
media. Of media. Of just media
Oh,
in
oh, okay,
general.
okay, okay.
But the idea of, I'm sure actually, probably also burlesque, because they're also huge drag fans too. Anything colorful and bright and, subculture-y.
I would love to
I
go to Brazil. Let's manifest the hell out of that.
but the idea of having proximity, there's so many things in New York I've missed. Like I would love to go see Rocky Horror on Broadway.
Mm, I haven't seen it yet.
Guess what? It's on the other side of the world.
Yeah,
Just
I
like you said,
know.
BurlyCon in Las Vegas.
Well, but this is specifically like our community
I
oriented
know,
though.
I know, I
But
know.
but uh
That's true. There isn't like
there's
a BurlyCon East Coast situation.
I think that my sensitivity to this particular thing that you are saying is that I have made offers to people that I felt were woefully inadequate compensation. I will still make the offer because it is up to you whether or not you decide that you are interested in doing it. Because again,
Mhm.
some people are like, well, for you, I would. Um, and I don't consider that a concession. It's like, oh, you feel like it's worth it to for your time to come
Mhm.
make art with me because you like what I'm into and what I'm doing and what I'm putting
Mhm.
out there. Um, versus I know that there's always a risk though when I make an offer. But I'm not talking about undercutting. I'm talking about paying less of a rate than I think somebody might want to do a show. Not unfair rates for
Right.
market
Not
value here.
exploitation. Yeah, no.
Right. Um I know at least one person who was very offended by the amount of money that I was offering them, which was more than I was paying everybody else in the cast. And it's too bad for them. Too bad for them, too bad for me. They got pretty bent out of shape about it, and there's nothing I can do. I have this is the money that I have. This is the show that we're making. I would love to work with you, and if that's not on the table, that's okay. But it makes me I don't I don't know. A lot of times when you ask for somebody's rate, they don't even know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
to get a reply like, "What do you think I'm worth?" Baby, you're worth the damn moon. That's why I want to work with you. I would love to pay you $1,000,000 million. I have $150 that I can give to
I
you.
have this
And
many.
that's more than
Yeah.
everybody else in the cast. Just kidding. So anyway, whatever. Sorry, that was a really long rant that didn't go anywhere. But
No.
I just find a
No.
lot of things frustrating right now, and I'm apparently shaking my sillies out with you, Victor Devon.
Well, you also you're if this is you realizing what is worth your time or what you are able to fill your cup with, or, I hate to say what your limitations are because that puts a negative spin on it, but
No,
what your
boundaries
yeah,
though. I would say
boundaries.
boundaries. I would say I'm
Boundaries are
much more
good.
aware of my needs and self-care than I have ever been in my entire life.
Yes.
I'm acutely aware of what does and doesn't make me happy. I'm acutely aware of what makes me wildly uncomfortable. I am not afraid to tell people not to wear perfume in the damn dressing room. Like I am a sensitive person with a lot of neurospicy quirks, and I don't want to stop performing, but there are things that I don't want to try to get past anymore. I don't want to have to take half a Xanax to make something happen, right? Like I don't want to do
Yeah.
that. I just want to be able to show up and have a chill, fun time, not have the venue be stupid, and hopefully be entertaining and share things with joy.
Damn. So that's what you want. That's all.
I'm a greedy bisexual, is what I'm trying to say.
Uh, do you know what you're doing the rest of the year? Do you have anything in mind or anything planned?
No, I am getting through Jersey City Pride, which is August 22nd. I MC two drag shows outside on well, there's three stages at Jersey City Pride. And one is a main stage that usually has musical guests. My stage does two drag shows. And then I don't have anything lined up. I am thinking about going to BurleyCon this year, because I had a great time last year. And also, there might be something else happening in November that prevents me from doing that. And I think that I'm in a restructuring period.
Mm, mm,
How about you?
uh, uh. Well, I mean, I don't, I mean, I'm doing a lot with the pod. I'm doing a lot with the tusks coming up. Um, Prep for that starts earlier and earlier, I
Smart.
find.
You're smart.
Well, it's sort of by virtue of I like doing it and I want to spend more time doing things that I like, I guess is part of it.
I think that that's actually my goal.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. And I'm,
I want to really hone in on things that I like doing and then put more
yeah.
time into that. And the things that I have any caveats about, try to figure out what that is and see if I can do a version of that that doesn't have so many buts. Only I still
More
want all
butts.
the buts.
I think what it is also is because I'm 42. You said already that you're 47.
Hmm.
We're at a point in our because you're also my husband's age. We're at a point where we're discussing um what we want to get out of being alive to a
Yeah.
certain degree. And I'm very lucky that I have a husband who has a job that has a bit more stability than, oh, substantially more stability than I do. And even though he finds it frustrating, he does find it also rewarding. And it does allow us to do things. And for a very long time, I felt very guilty about
Mm,
being the neurodivergent crayon that wasn't contributing to the household, I felt.
mm,
And that was easier when I was in a loveless relationship with a roommate who used to be my boyfriend.
mm.
It's harder when it's a husband that you're,
Mhm.
building a life with. Um, and for the audience's edification, those are two different people. The husband wasn't the boyfriend that I was referring to. The idea of being able to take time. There's this part in the Shmuel song of Last 5 Years that's like take
Mm,
your time, and that
mhm.
when I heard that, I was like, oh shit. And I do contribute to the household, even though I'm not, bringing in uh the paycheck that really does everything. And I started allowing myself for coming up with ideas of doing things together. Like we're going to see shows, we're going to experience things, we're going to have like let's have some fun. This beat is sick. Like let's
Mhm.
actually like do stuff. And I
Sure.
think alas, some of that is in a response to trauma.
Yeah.
Um, People that I care about dying and the world being on fire and feeling like I don't know, I don't want to not I don't want to I don't know. It makes me feel like my time is even that much more limited. And I've never grown up imagining myself as an old man. I don't know what that means, to be honest with you.
I hear a lot of people say that. I get
I
it.
don't know if that's prescience. I don't know if that's simply because I still view myself as actually technically, I feel a lot younger than I really am.
I do too.
I feel behind. I feel I mean, there's an Arrested Development that comes with gay men very frequently. Um, and I think with my generation specifically, or my couple of years, um, being at the being born at the beginning of the AIDS crisis, before it was even called the AIDS crisis, and then living through the bizarro world of the 90s and the bizarro future world of the 2000s, and then all of these major events that have happened with or without us, um, major figures coming and going, war being a 24-hour cycle as opposed to what you read on the Sunday paper. You would
Hmm.
just check in. Um,
Oh, it's too
oh,
much. We're not hardwired to handle all of this in any
we're
way.
really not.
And we
We're
are
not.
what we are I think we're actively making it harder on ourselves in multiple ways, but not because we are bad people or we're not aware of it. We're just trying to be part of the current culture, and that's what it requires of you right now.
To be involved, to
Hmm.
feel like you're actually making a difference, you're actually being a part of it, requires a lot of sustaining. Um, and there's a certain level of also, I think, comfortability in being uncomfortable. Like, I think a lot of us enjoy being cranky. Uh, um, I mean, there's something about self-righteous anger. There really is. There really is something that is kind of rewarding about that. It's not healthy,
No,
but
I mean, I've had moments like that, but I'm definitely done with. I don't want to. I don't want to be right all the time.
I'm getting
It's
there.
exhausting.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. And I think
Ooh.
part of that is also being married to a man who similarly just doesn't want to, a lot of it. I don't know, every once in a while he and I have butted heads against not complacency, but sort of like, well, what did you expect? They're terrible people. I'm like, yes, but I want
Mm,
to be mad at those terrible people.
I
And like I
know.
don't want to and it's not that he doesn't care. It's not that he doesn't care. In fact, actually, he cares a great deal. I think, has just learned to temper when to care,
It's
to
a skill.
protect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know that he also struggled. He's not in the room right now, which is why I feel a little bit more comfortable sharing this. He knows I talk about him on the pod. He knows it. Is that he was, I think, worried at one point that considered that was a trigger at some point that he did not respond enough for some people. I have a feeling in his previous relationship, which was basically a marriage, um, but common law or Boston or something. I don't know. Gay people. Pre ratification. Um, was
Domestic
and
partnership.
similar to mine.
Yeah.
Uh, was that he didn't feel things passionate enough, or he didn't get mad enough, or he didn't do this, and therefore it was cold, or
Mm.
therefore was unfeeling. And like that's not it. That actually isn't it at all. There's something to be said about, protecting one's ammunition
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah. We can't spread ourselves too thin. And it doesn't do anyone any good if we do. Um, and
I'm a
also,
highly reactive person though, and that is one of those things that we don't, again, it's not a attention. It doesn't create, chaos in our household, but it's something that the other one checks in with, you
mm,
know?
yeah, for sure. Uh,
Do you find that oh, sorry, you had something. Yeah.
oh, no, no. Do I find,
I was going to say, do you find that you have that because you also are married to a creative civilian, but a civilian and out of burlesque all the same?
yeah, well, I don't know if this is telling too much of a tale out of school, but quite recently, uh, I got a little feedback from my husband that I have been pretty negative lately. And I said, "Oh, that is shocking because I am holding back so much."
Damn.
And not like I don't think that he feels that I am criticizing him. I think that the negativity comes from like me looking at my phone and going, "Oh my God, what's happening now?" And like
Yeah,
being so acutely aware of all of the terrible stuff that's happening. And I need to yell about it a little bit. So now I try not to do it in front of him. But I was
yeah.
like, just so you know, I have already been picking and choosing what it is that I say out loud about the bad things that are happening. So I'm going to be doing less of that, but just know that I am already actively editing myself around you. And I
Damn.
was so shocked because I've actually been in a really nice mindset. Like I said, I have a great therapist. I feel like I've been processing things really well. I feel like my gratitude is off the charts. I have never felt more grateful for the things that I have and the people I have in my life and the fortunate things, like my advantages. I am not woe is meing about anything. Um,
Is that because
and
you're off Facebook right now?
I mean, I have mostly been off Facebook for quite some time, but I'm still on Instagram, and it's still a shit show there too.
Mm.
But no, I do feel really fortunate. Like I have a day job that I actually like. I feel appreciated. I have a lot of friends who are really going through very terrible things right now, and I'm okay. And I have a little bit of survivor's guilt about it, but that doesn't help anybody either, and feels gross and not genuine. And anyway, um, I I feel like I'm doing okay. So to hear him be like, "You've been pretty negative," I was like, "Oh, you have no idea how negative I could be if I wasn't
No, it also shows like
a
how,
good
oh, I thought I was
therapist
so
right now."
convincing. I thought I
I
was
know,
so,
I know. And then there's the
it's like
whole
being told
masking thing.
I don't believe you're seen. I
God.
don't believe, try it again. Come on, let's do another take.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not a convincing line reading, Lillian. Um, I I got a boogie.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Thank you so much for making this space. And I really do, just as a last thing, I love burlesque. I'm so excited that there are like new people doing it. I
Mm,
think that no matter how frustrated I get with some of like the capital D discourse,
of course.
I think it's like the conversations are always fascinating. I'm not saying don't cast me in your show because I don't want to come out late at night. That's not what I'm saying at all. But this is an incredible art form that I feel privileged to be a part of, and I know that the stages will always be there as long as I want to take my ass out on them. Um,
Well, we criticize because we love too. Like it's our favorite thing.
I know I
So
want
why
everything
wouldn't
to be
we?
better.
Of course, of course. And we are the gatekeepers. We are the ones who get to decide that. So let's find more unity and conversation in that regard and
I think it would be very
come up with
helpful
some progress.
to zoom out, and this is for our little microcosm, but things in general, to think about instead of hills to die on. I keep seeing people say calling it tending the garden. Like this is not the thing that you are the hill you're going to die on. This is the garden that you're going to tend. And I love that so much. Um, and also, we are making choices that craft, whether you want to call it the industry or whether you want to call it community. In both industries and communities, you have culture, you have contemporary community norms, and we are constantly trying to shape and craft them. So I feel
Mm,
like if any of the big conversations, if people can just come to them with that in mind, like this is our opportunity to shape the culture of our art form. Um, I think that there would be a lot less name calling and all of that stuff.
yeah.
It is easy to be mad about stuff right now. Um, and also, I'm not tone policing. Sometimes you gotta yell.
Yeah. But sometimes you got to figure out who you're yelling at.
That is a great point. If you,
Sometimes, yeah,
I am
yeah.
personally trying to do a lot more of my like, what is it? Old man yells at clouds. I'm trying to do
Uh-huh.
that offline.
Fair enough. Darling, I
Thank
love
you so
you.
much for having me. 300.
Thank
Congratulations. This is
you.
so exciting. I'm at Lillian_Bustle on Instagram. That's almost
Yeah.
the only place that you can find me now, but I am Lillian Bustle on Facebook. I'm Lillian Bustle at Gmail if you want to Gmail me. I am $ Lillian Bustle on Cash App. Um,
Darling, go do things. I know you have a life. Mwah.
adore
I
you.
miss
Thank
you.
you so
I
much.
love
I miss
you.
you too.
And I will talk to you soon.
I love you. Love to
I
Rob.
love you. Thank you. Mwah.
Mm,
Bye.
bye.
Bye. We Burlesque the Podcast, created, developed, and edited by Viktor Devonne. Podcast artwork by Logan Laveau. We Burlesque the Podcast cover art photography by Atticus Stevenson. Theme song, On a 45 by This Way to the Egress, used with permission. All incidental music via Pixabay under the expectation of fair use. Please visit WeBurlesquePodcast.com for notes on this and every other episode. Follow We Burlesque and Viktor Devonne on just about every platform, and support the podcast via patreon.com/We Burlesque. Don't got the cash? Please follow, subscribe, and give 5 stars on every platform you can get your hands on. It really does help. All original material is owned by Viktor Devonne and White Elephant Burlesque Corporation. All other materials property of their respective copyright. No infringement, while likely, is intended. This episode, and all episodes thereafter, are in memory of Lucky Charming. Miss you, friend. And that's it.
Woohoo!